Alright, here's a review of our step 1 and step 2. And step 2 basically is divided into two further steps. That is, one, to calculate the expected value, then to proceed to calculate the chi-square statistics, which is this one. So let us review how do we do the expected value. Well, remember in probabilities that the event A's and B are independent if the probability of A intersect B is the product of probability A and B, for example, written here. So if we are interested to look at, well, what is the expected value for female here, that is female and prefer red, for example. So then what we can do then is to calculate this thing, female and red. So to do that, we need to have some data. What is the probability of female? Well, probability of female in our case is to use the values here. For example, 130 females out of a population of 250. So that is our probability of female. And probability of people selecting red, there's 64 of them out of 250. So here's the probability. And if you want to figure out what is the expected value for this probability, so expectation for female and red, then what we do then is to take the probability of female and red, multiply by the sample size. So multiply by the sample size, and the sample size here is 250, so it's 130 times 64 over 250 over 250, and the sample size itself is 250. This is 832 over 25. So this is my expected value. So then I can rewrite it up here. So in this particular box, so 130 times 64 divided by 250, right? That is a simplified. This is 832 over 25. And similarly, I can also calculate what's the probability of the expected value for the male and red. So first you calculate the probability. So that will be 120 over 250 times 64 over 250 times the sample size 250. So simplifying that, I will have 120 times 64 over 250. And similarly up here, I have female and blue is 130, the value in the margin here, times the value at this margin here, 71, over the total 250. Now we're going to see how we're going to use the GDC to help us to do this chi-square test. First of all, you could do switch it on, right? Then I went to the matrix. Matrix here is in blue, so second this button for matrix. And basically we're going to enter this value here into matrix A. Matrix A here is basically go to add it, and then go to A, add it A. And then here I have 2 rows and 4 columns. So we put in 2 rows, row first and then column. The way to remember is rocks, row first and then columns. And then now we put in the number 43, right? 26, 24, 37, and then 21, 45, 32, and 22. For example, enter this. And next you can say, after you finish, to create, you can check what we have entered by doing matrix again, second matrix, and then just call A at the moment, just press enter, and then press enter again and to check the numbers. Are they exactly the same? If they are, then you proceed. If they're not, please do the, you edit it. Okay, so if it is, then I go to stat and then go to test, go up, look for chi-square test. Can you see it? Right, it's in C. So you can go up to C, press enter. So what it does is that the observed values in matrix A, which I've just done, and what it will do is that it will put the expected values in B. And then we can go up down here to calculate. And here we have it. So what we'll see is that the chi-square in this case is roughly 17.2 with a p-value 6.33 and a degree of freedom equal to 3. I'll explain this value later.